You can watch now.
What's it look like? How delayed is it?
I think we started.
Did we start?
I'm in the chat room now. And just in time to watch Andy turn towards me angrily. just this.
That's what you call a pretty intense start to an episode.
It looked exactly like when Ripley turns to look at the Queen Alien after the egg opens up.
Yeah, the egg
And she's
opens
just
up.
Really? Seriously?
Yeah.
That's what you gave me.
Where's my fucking flamethrower? Welcome to Crippled System, episode 150. It's so special.
Divided by 12, it's a prime number.
Whee! That's true. If it can't be divided by 12, it's a prime number. That's actually how
Absolutely.
mathematics
We
works.
talked about that.
You have to start with 12, right?
Yeah.
You go 1,
God.
skip 8, and then you get to 12.
Travis pointed out to me that the last one was a Chen prime and an Emir prime.
And is that a Lord of the Rings prime?
Yes, Emir prime.
It's an Elven prime number.
It's an Elven transformer, Emir prime. No, Emir is prime backwards, so it's just a reversible prime. Or 151 will be an Emir prime. 149 wasn't. God damn it. No, it's not that it's a reversible prime. I apologize. Let me rewind. 151 will be a reversible prime because it's a palindrome and it's a prime. So even if you turn it around, it's still a prime, obviously, because it's a palindrome. Chen prime is a prime where 2 numbers higher is also a prime.
Okay.
Because some guy named Chen decided that that's something he wanted to name after himself. So if a prime number plus 2 is a prime number, it's a Chen prime.
I wonder, is there any
And a Mert prime. So 149 backwards is 941,
Yep.
which is also a prime. So all reversible primes like 151 are Emir primes because obviously, it reversed is going to be a prime.
Do those add any value to the? I can understand, math is powerful, but knowing it's a reverse prime, does that equation work out anywhere? Am I like building
Does
a
it
rocket?
matter?
Do I get to go to Mars on a rocket because I know where reverse
Will it
prime
ever
number?
come up that 149 is a prime and 941 is
If I'm
also
doing
prime?
if I am
No.
balancing my bank account, do I need to know this reverse prime shit? That's all I care about right now.
Hey, come on, recreational math.
Is not a thing.
It doesn't help you get to the rocket ship to Mars to play a video game, but it's fun.
Well,
it's fun to know
reverse
that 149 backwards is 941, which is also prime.
I don't understand. That's not in any world in my world fun.
What about happy primes?
It's like trivia. Now you know.
Yeah, now you know.
Now I wish I didn't know.
We missed a happy prime back in the 130s. I don't think there's another happy prime for a while.
I don't know what a happy prime is.
It's a number that's happy and prime.
How do I make a happy number?
So you square the digits and add those all together. So like 13 would be 1 squared and 3 squared, so that's 1 and 9, and you add them together, it's 10.
Yep.
And then you do that again. So 1 squared is 1, 0
Yep.
squared is 0, add those together, it's 1.
Yep.
You're eventually either going to get into a loop or you're going to get to 1. In this example of 13, we got to 1. That makes it happy.
All I know is someone very, very, very sad and lonely to figure this all out. It says someone was in their room very lonely and sad, and they figured this out. And they go, "Oh, I made a happy number."
Also, as Tor brought up, if you're ever in the cube, it's important to know what actually in the cube you need to know what
Prime
numbers
is- yeah.
had factors that were themselves prime. It didn't matter if the number was prime.
I watched all the cubes, and we never had any happy prime was never a factor in the
Although
cubes.
any prime number, all of its factors will be prime because its only factors will be itself and 1, which are both prime. Although arguably 1 isn't prime.
If I'm ever in the cube and I'm in if I'm in the cube, all I'm going to do in room 1 is kill everybody because I'm fucked anyway. So they're all going out with me.
I think this exact conversation is what killed Kurt Cobain.
Yeah. Someone explain happy
And
primes
he's
to
going to
him.
go to his bathroom.
Someone explain
take a bunch
happy
of
primes to
drugs.
him. So she came in and killed him.
Oh, that's where we're going.
That's where we always go.
Okay.
And I'm Brian, and I play Scorn.
I'm Nathan, and I like recreational math.
I'm John, not Jeremy. I also play Scorn.
Since when?
January.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're all switching factions for the year.
He's
Yeah,
joining
this
the
is-
Scorn Brigade.
I'm not switching until Mobius comes out.
Which is soon.
Which is like next week.
Yeah.
You're going
Yeah.
Cricks?
Just acid trip.
And
baby.
somebody
just acid
and
trip.
somebody appropriated from some cricks from one of their friends, so now they're going to be selling some cricks cheap.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I think it was Loki who was like, "Hey, somebody owed me money, so now I have a bunch of their models."
What?
So his buddy owned him money, so he just like, you know what? I'm just gonna take all your models and
you
we'll call
don't
it even.
mess with the fuck force. They take your shit.
Yeah. So somebody
this?
on the Five Fingers forum.
Oh.
Whatever. So somebody owed him money, and so he just took a bunch of that guy's models. Presumably that was an agreement, and not just that he stole his stuff. And so now he has some cricks to dump because he didn't want the models. It was just the easiest way to get reimbursed the value of the money he was owed by his, he's just like a bookie. He just stole his property and he's flipping it on the black market.
That's not good.
You owe someone money, you pay him the money.
Well, whatever. If you owed me $20 and you're like, hey, I have an extra blah, blah, blah,
I owe
and I'm
you-
like, just
I
give
owe
me
you
that
f-
and we're even.
I owe you $13 and you owe me $20
So give me that rock bottom.
I owe you $20.
for our team
Oh,
for the
yeah.
WITC.
Yeah, and he owes me $13 for the witch.
The Vitch.
The Vivitch.
I don't. These are my sweatpants. I don't have.
Oh,
my sweatpants.
that's fine.
Make it rain.
Look at that, money
Making
being.
it rain.
So,
gonna get a
should we
taco
go
on
right to
the way
announcements, or
home.
did you do the thing you wanted to do?
What thing?
You wanted to do a thing.
You said the Grumbles?
Oh yeah, we have Zappity Grumbles from last week.
From last week?
Yep.
We
No, we
do
forgot to
announcements
answer.
first?
No fucking.
Because we have new
announcements.
Zappity Grumbles. We can do them all.
No, we do these now.
Okay.
That's
Make
what I
up for
said.
missing them last week.
Yep.
Clearly.
There's seven, yeah, because we care.
Yep. We care. Any thoughts on what would make a cool Minions Gargantuan? Crocodile.
The
Done.
Dracodile.
The octopus, but
Yeah,
maybe-
it's obviously. No, that should have been a unit.
yeah.
The Swamp Shambler should have been, or not Swamp Shambler, the Swamp Horror should have
Swamp
been a
Horror
unit.
should have been a colossal with 3 or 4 tentacles.
Well, even I don't know about Colossal. I would have liked if it was a unit, and it had the leader model was the head, and then it had 8 small base models that were each a tentacle and had 1 attack, and so they just moved around and attacked shit. That would have been awesome.
With immobile on it. Definitely. So you couldn't TK it or move it.
Yeah, I guess so.
it
Yeah,
might-
I mean,
it might
obviously it
almost-
could move.
It might almost have to have something. Can you wait?
The
hold
thing
on.
that
Quick question.
Yeah.
Can you rampager a beast swarm?
Yeah, I think one of them. Yeah.
Okay, just one
yeah,
of them?
it
Okay.
doesn't get the whole unit. It's target war beast, so the one will move.
Okay.
give it what Tibby has. The thing that makes
Why?
you can't just TK him. That's what Andy wants to have him have.
Yeah, but why?
So that you can't TK him, he said.
So, like, why is it a big deal?
What the?
Fuck. Hi. Why is it a big deal? Why is it a big deal to be able to TK?
I don't know. I just don't.
You just take one of its tentacles and you use psychic forces to move it a little further.
Yeah.
You could TK someone's arm if you had telekinesis.
Yeah, but you can't TK it across the room.
Well, it's not going across the room. It's going 2 inches or 1
Zap.
inch.
Zap.
2
Grumble.
inches in game terms is like a good 6 feet.
Crocodile. Grumble.
Obviously, it's coming.
Yeah.
Zap.
Crocodile or like a gigantic beast that
I mean,
that Arcadius built.
yes. If you end up with like a Glacier King,
Well,
with,
Robo Drocodile, obviously.
Yeah,
you have Drocodile
obviously.
and Robo Drocodile. I mean,
works
that's
for me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mecha. Mecha.
Mecha
I
Drocodile.
misspoke.
Okay.
I apologize to the world.
How dare you?
Zappity.
Grumble.
Best Merc Valley unit to take with P. Denny.
Probably the full pirate Sea Dog boarding crew.
Or the
unit.
NIS.
Sea Dogs. I mean, really, any.
The Sea Dog unit with the whole pirate boat, like the whole Sea Dogs with all the solos, is really strong under her.
But point for point still?
Yeah, I think so. Because they're 4+ tough, no knockdown. With her feet, they'll blow entire army units off the table. They get 14 shots, 15 actually, because Walls has 2 guns.
Oh.
So you got 15 guns. 3 of them are shockingly long range. They'll just
What's the
tear
range
through
on
things. The riflemen are like 14 or something. The other guys are 10s, I think,
Yeah, I believe so. I believe either they're 12s or.
something like that.
Yeah. I think they may be 8s with 12s.
Like 8-12 or 10-14, whatever. The
it's
point is,
not like this thing has got fucking war room.
they're
back in
shitty
it.
guns, but under her feet, everything's good.
Yeah,
and under Crippling
that's
Grasp,
true.
anything's good.
Yeah. Zappity.
Well, I don't know if Brian or you disagree, but I think the Sea Dog unit's the best.
Rumble.
I honestly, I don't really care. Anything is good with her.
The 4-man units, the 3-man unit's pretty good nowadays for value.
Yeah, the Devil Shadow is really solid.
Travis says it's 6 foot per inch.
That doesn't make any sense.
Why not?
So halberdiers have got
A 12-foot
A
ring.
12-foot
pole. Yeah.
yeah,
That's about right.
Then it
Halberds are
doesn't-
about a 10-foot pole, and then they stick their arms out 2 more feet.
yeah, those things. If then the model should represent it.
The halberds are definitely bigger than the models.
Halberds are maybe about a foot and a half taller than them. If you set the model next to its weapon,
So if the model's 2 inches tall, that dude's 12 feet tall.
yeah.
Scrap the game. Nothing
Yeah,
works.
Nothing works. It makes no sense. This game is horrible now.
I'm out. I'm going back to Age of Sigmar.
Back to.
Good thing new rumors are coming up. Yeah. Zappity Grumble. What's up with Australia? Terrible hooking and pulling? I don't know what that...
Is that a new phrase for
What?
taking people who are trying to come into your country and dragging them out to the ocean to die? Is that
don't-
called hooking and pulling?
I have
That's
no
something that's been
idea.
happening.
Oh, yeah. So if you try to enter Australia, they do one of two things. They either put you on an island where you get raped to death, or they pull you out to the middle of the ocean and you're never seen again.
So there's a group of people doing that then.
Yeah, the Australian government.
Really?
Yeah. This is their policy. Like, so when illegal immigrants come into America, we try to stop them and then we ship them back to Mexico. And if they make it in, we're like, grrr. If you go to Australia, they either catch you. Well, if they catch you, they take you out to the middle of the ocean where you die, or they take you to a
rape
camp.
island.
Yeah, they take you on an island. It's like an internment camp where you're just raped and murdered and starved to death, and it's terrible. But what they've done is they've started they print out flyers and brochures, and they send those brochures to like third world countries that say, "Hey, this is a flyer from Australia. Just to let you know, if you try to come here, you're gonna die."
Oh,
Stay
that,
the fuck out.
I can send you a PDF of that flyer. It's fucking amazing.
Tort says that's only if you're brown, Nathan. If you're white,
Well,
you
obviously,
get
if you're
in.
white, you get a free
Yeah.
pass.
If you're white, you're not an illegal immigrant. You're a tourist. You're yeah.
An extended tourist.
But yeah, I am not exaggerating. Like
Someone
it's
should send Trump
horrific.
this plan. He probably would embrace this idea.
That is terrifying.
It is terrifying. Look, it is the worst thing right now.
A first world government sends you to rape camp.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Zappity.
they do not
Grumble.
want you. Well, to be
Terrifying.
fair, Australia traditionally doesn't like people being sent into Australia. It's bad for the people who are already there. Just ask the Aborigines how well it went for them when a bunch of people were sent to Australia. So now the new people are like, wait, we don't want to have our own comeuppance. So is that what hook and pull is?
I don't know. Tort is seemingly agreeing with what I was talking here.
I'm not making any of this up. Tort will back me up on this.
Yeah.
It's the most horrific thing about Australia right
Tort
now.
lives on the island, oddly enough.
Yeah. So somebody had mentioned. So Australia has its own Australia now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It is scary. I do listen to it's a comedy duo, kind of similar to like Jon Stewart was over here, Clark and Daw, and
Yeah.
they do have some very entertaining commentary on the government of Australia. Comes out every Thursday.
They're not as cool as the Axis of Awesome. That's the best thing that's come out of Australia.
The what?
Axis of Awesome. I think it's.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys are. Anyway, Zappity.
Grumble. Fuck, Mary, kill Pam, Cheryl, or Mallory.
What? Fuck, Mary, kill?
Mm-hmm.
Pam, Cheryl,
or Mallory.
Kill.
I'm gonna say mine first. I'm gonna fuck Cheryl because it'll be awesome. I will actually marry Pam and then kill Mallory. That'll be my.
I have to agree with that logic. I think. Or, well.
I'm marrying for money. So
Well, that's the thing, except at various points in time, she's bankrupt and just has the appearance of money, or she's actually rich. So it kind of depends where you are in the claims on the character.
at least I can pretend like I'm rich.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, if she actually has money, I think that's the right vote.
Still killing Mallory though. And then
No, if she's rich, you marry her.
Mallory? No.
No, I'm not talking Mallory. I'm talking Cheryl.
You're killing her?
No, I'm marrying Cheryl.
You're marrying Cheryl? What?
I told you
Someone's
marrying
gonna
for money.
No. Oh,
Oh, right. I forgot she legit is rich.
Yeah, no, she's
yeah,
Cheryl.
that is-
She
that's
is Cheryl, but she is Cheryl. She's fucking insane.
John's having his penis cut off in the second week. Never
Yeah.
Worse things have happened.
Yeah.
I killed
Did you
Mallory. so-
did you see what she did to her own ocelot?
And I'm fine with that.
It's baboon. Baboon. I said baboon, but baboon.
I saw it named
Yeah, no,
Baboon.
we're marrying Cheryl. Fucking Pam.
No,
Killing Mallory.
I would be terrified of being married to Cheryl.
Yeah,
it's
no.
one and done. Because
Every
I
day's
might
an
not
adventure.
I might not
Every
even
day's an adventure.
survive the one. Like, there's no guarantees you're coming out of that alive.
Worse things have happened.
Pam, come on! You get shanties. You go and do street fight boxing every day.
Yeah.
That's
pretty
adventure.
reliable.
She seems.
I mean, Coke Pam's pretty cool too. I kind of like Coke.
Oh,
Pam.
I'd get her back on coke.
Yeah, that's
for sure.
I mean,
How are you going to afford Coke?
that's fine.
With
She was literally kilos at a time.
So
We'll find a way.
Yeah, but see,
they found a way.
yeah,
They had an entire
Yeah, they found a way.
Coke strong.
Love will find a way.
yeah.
All right, so we got Zappity.
Grumble. What's the best standalone graphic novel comic book story? It's not a standalone, but it's probably my favorite story is the Craven's Last Hunt.
Well, that's pretty standalone. If you know who the characters are,
Correct.
It's a contained arc. Like it's not like the Watchmen where it introduces the characters, has a story, and then it's over. But if you know who Spider-Man and Kraven are, it's self-contained.
Vermin and Cap.
Sure.
Yeah, I was gonna go with the Watchmen.
Yeah, I mean Watchmen is.
Like the safest bet.
Yeah, I mean that's the pinnacle of if you're going to talk
One and
about
done,
literature
yeah.
in comic book form in a fully contained thing. It's got to be the best one ever.
Dark Knight Returns is another. Again,
Again,
that's
that's
another
not a-
one.
that-
Another
yeah.
one we need to. But that is more of a standalone story because that's built. For
Again,
them.
it relies on who Batman and the Joker are. So it depends on how standalone has to be.
Correct.
If it has to completely start from a blank slate, you really are really limited.
I like the graphic novel of for Preacher of the Saint of Killers has like a 5-part thing, which again you have to know who he is, but really, or you don't know who he is. It's this guy who's hunting down the devil and God. Either way, it's pretty
Spawn's
hilarious.
also another good one.
Since you took Watchmen away from me, I'm going to go with the first arc of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I have not seen that.
so
I've read
should-
that, rather.
You haven't read League of Extraordinary Gentlemen? Did you see the movie? The movie's terrible.
It's just like the movie.
Yeah, except not terrible. But League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, have you seen the shitty movie with
I
Sean
have
Connery?
seen the shitty movie.
That is fucking unfortunate. The good news is the book has nothing to do with the movie. So you might
That's
like
fantastic news.
it. Yeah.
I didn't hate the movie.
Fuck!
I didn't hate it.
He is the new Jeremy. What was good about it? Nothing?
I'll say what was good about it. The Frankenstein scenes were actually
The
half
Frankenstein scenes were that
You mean Hyde?
Hyde.
Hyde. Yeah,
and
yeah.
Jekyll.
Hyde was actually the
Mr.
only
Sausage Arms?
That was fine with me. I'm fine with large characters being goofy like that. Hyde was fine.
I didn't hate it.
I did not hate it either. I did not enjoy it either.
I guess it can be entertainingly schlocky. Like, I guess I'll grant it that.
I saw it and I went, "Oh, that was a thing I saw," and then I moved on.
yeah.
I didn't pay to see it, nor would I pay to see
You know what Venice doesn't have? Roads or graveyards. So I don't know how you have like a 40-minute action sequence / chase scene / whatever set in Venice entirely on roads and in a graveyard.
it. I didn't realize they were in Venice. Wasn't paying that close attention.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Zappity.
Grumble.
Are we still Zappity? Are we done?
That's it. We're done.
Announcements.
The Kickstarter is still going as promised last year, and it's going pretty well, actually. People have been very generous. It's actually been super cool to see the community coming together to help this stuff. I was trying to pull it up here. We did reach our initial funding goal of the $5,000. So the good news is that unless people just randomly start yanking out...
Which is my plan.
Yeah, like people will wait until the last day and withdraw everything, and we'll lose every single penny because that's how Kickstarter works. But assuming that doesn't happen, we do have money in the bank from this, which is great. We're up to $5,700 and $5,730. Excuse me, burp. We obviously need more because our initial funding goal was $5,000. That's just because we hoped that we could make that. And if you don't make your initial goal, you get nothing. So we didn't want to put forth like $13,000 and end up getting nothing out of it. But this is not enough money to run it. We need more. Every penny that we raise through this is money that we don't have to push on to the entry fees, and we want to keep the entry fees down for the WITC and the ATC to make it attractive and affordable for everybody to come to. I think that I did a relatively decent job of putting rewards out there. Like at the $100 level, you end up getting an iron-on embroidered patch. You get a set of 4 dice. 3 of one color and 1 of another, so you can do dice rolls and everything. You get a challenge coin, which somebody asked what a challenge coin was, and I guess Google doesn't exist for Macs, but what a challenge coin is, it's basically like a steamroller coin.
Well, a challenge coin is a military thing, basically, where you
Right.
have a coin of some sort that you go to like a bar or something like that, and you
Yeah.
present them. Whoever doesn't have their coin will end up paying for
It's
the
a little
drinks.
thing to show that you're part of a group. It's part of a
Correct.
club. So you meet somebody who's good and you can show the coin, look at us, we're so cool. But it's, the easiest way to visualize is like a steamroller coin. So you get one of those, and then you also get a t-shirt, and all that shit's going to include the logo that's being designed by Florian, who is the one who did our six-pack logo. He's done a lot of other stuff. You can look at his website. It's all super, super good. And then we're starting to unlock stretch goals, hopefully. And so
How long till the nearest stretch goal?
So I put it at 6,500. We've kind of slowed down. I'm trying to decide. I wasn't sure whether we have 3 stretch goals. The first one is is 2 pint glasses, because I figure I can't just give 1 pint glass. You have to have a glass for your
Yeah,
opponent.
absolutely.
So it's 2 pint glasses. The second one is going to be a set of bases with the logo on it. Large and medium bases to use like proxies and flags and objectives.
I thought you said small on the Kickstarter.
I meant to say large and medium. Small wouldn't make much sense.
You said for proxy bases.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do 2 of each.
Fair.
That would work. Maybe small, medium, and large. Heck, new announcement: small, medium, and large. There'll be 2 of each sides. And the third one's going to be a set of steamroller zones. And I had those at $1,500 each, depending on how the Kickstarter is going, because I want all 3 of those to unlock. And so if it's going slowly, I might drop it to $1,000 for each jump. And so do it at 6, 7, and 8 instead of 65, 8, and 95. But we'll see. But right now we're still chugging along. If you already donated, thank you. Please talk to people in your group that haven't donated and see if they can help out. Because like I said, we really want to make sure that this happens and is as awesome as possible.
Awesome, cool.
That's
yeah,
my thing.
No, yeah, it's been chugging along. It looks pretty cool. People are throwing money in. It's been, I think all the communities have shared it. I know Travis went on to Muse last week
Yes.
for a chunk of their episode, and also was putting forth some discussion on the topic. They were very excited about it.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, everywhere it's out there everywhere. It's going to be cool. I mean, having a big event like this in the U.S. will be very exciting.
Yeah.
Especially close to Wisconsin.
Well, I mean, it helps us obviously, but I mean, someone had to run it. Just happens to people who want to run it
Yeah.
are here. So I mean, no matter where it gets run in the country, someone wish it would have been closer to them, but then you'd have the exact same like the dynamic somewhere
Yeah.
else.
I think we're a decent location. I mean, obviously, I'm going to think that because we live here, but I think that we're a decent area just because we're centrally located on the continent. Some people are like, oh, you could have it like in LA. Like, okay, but then literally everybody has to fly. Like, you
Hotels are also a lot
hotels are a lot cheaper here.
Yeah.
We can pull. I mean, we're close to Canada, so some of the Canadian teams can come down.
Canadian
here.
down.
Some obviously can't.
I think a
depending
lot
where
more
they
people
are.
can road trip. And the thing is, like, yeah, Milwaukee isn't as big as some other places, but we do have an international airport in Milwaukee. And worst case scenario, the site is an hour and a quarter away from O'Hare. Like, just fly to O'Hare. It's one of the biggest airports in the world. Just fly there and then rent a car and drive an hour. You're fine.
Yeah.
Can you kill your stream?
Oh, sorry.
So yeah, good times.
I killed my stream.
It's been killed in the face.
Take that, stream.
Punch. Do we have? So that's a good announcement. Obviously, Adepticon's coming up at the end of the month. I'm assuming some of you are all going to be there to some degree, playing or running events. You're going to be.
Adepticon will be there.
You'll be doing Iron Arena. You're going to be doing some sort of.
I think I signed up for the competitive events, like the Masters and the
Did you sign up for the competitive flight or whatever
yeah,
it's called? Where you
I
just
signed up
pay-
for one of the flights. I think it was the competitive flight.
I think I'll be going down with. I probably will be going down with on Saturday with Jeremy and the Shays to just say hi, but I won't be there other than just on Saturday.
Sure.
But you figure it's too close not to go down for a day and say hi to everyone because it's a 2-hour
Everyone's
drive.
there.
Drive. Like,
Yeah, yeah. And now that it's North Chicago, it's even quicker than before.
nicer. Yeah.
I didn't bother to verify that I have a ride or a hotel room, but the last 7 conventions I've ridden down and stayed with Dan. So if I don't have a ride and a hotel room, I'm just going to be angry at Dan.
Yeah, that's why you're weird. Like when it comes to an event, I make sure I have events planned out for years ahead of time.
Well, I figured it was a pattern now. Like I am assuming
You
that Dan
assume
and
you're
I.
probably in, but it's good to have the conversation. It's like you haven't had the conversation.
I did it with War Machine Weekend. Remember, like we were here and I wasn't sure, and the next day I'm like, "Hey Dan," and he's like, "Yeah, we're fine." And then so I just think,
So Dan, if you're listening to this, you should probably touch base with Nathan and tell him he's screwed, and we'll all laugh.
I'll commute every day.
Or sleep in his room anyway.
Yeah, just whatever. I'll sleep in the Iron Gauntlet room or the Iron Arena room.
Iron Arena.
It's open 24/7.
Yeah, just crawl under a table and sleep. No one will notice.
Yeah, just do it in the area where they're playing tournaments.
Well, like the gaming area is open 24/7 at Gen Con, so like I don't know why people don't do that to save money. Just wear
hotel
shades
people-
and pretend like you're playing a game.
The hotel people at Adepticon, if you like sit down somewhere, will talk to you and say, "Hey, you can't be right here. Go to your room."
No, be awake. Or not be awake,
If you
be
sit
like-
down and you like start to just doze off a little bit, they're on you.
Well, not like in the lobby. I'm saying like if you and I set up a game on a table in the IG area,
Okay.
or the Iron Arena area rather, and we just sat on either opposite sides of it and just like napped with our heads in our hands, so it looked like we were both looking at the game, we might get away with it.
Maybe.
It'd be kind of amusing one way or another.
Or we take shifts, like, an hour at a time. One naps while the other person just stares at the board. If anybody comes by, the guy's like, "Oh, hey, are those... Oh, okay, cool."
Yeah, no, it's clearly my turn. He's just resting his eyes while I roll my dice.
That's
Yeah.
not a miserable night.
Taking hour naps, shifting back and forth.
Yeah.
You have a book or something.
Could be worse.
Yeah, he's resting his eyes while I look up the rules in my Night Angel trilogy.
Good times. So there you go. Those are our announcements. I figure we should at least talk about Diptic.
There's that 35-point event coming up in March yet.
There's one here in Madison.
Misty.
Yeah, Misty.
I forget the
one.
weekend it's at.
The 17th or the 19th? I think it's the
The 19th. The 19th.
That's good because I'm out of town. I'm out of town the 25th.
I work the 19th.
We all sat down expecting that, which is always, when you got a crew people who are willing to do that, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's when it's like a surprise 5-hour game and the guy's like, I want to go.
Yeah, when you sit down for Blood Rage and then one person is terrible at analysis paralysis, so the game takes 6 hours or 5 hours, that's when it's terrible.
Yeah, because
But when you sit down for Dune or Game of Thrones or whatever, and you're like, this is going to take 5 or 6 hours,
Yeah.
and everybody knows that, there's not an issue.
You know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
So me and Nathan had very similar type things. Like I wanted to play in the South for two reasons. One, I haven't seen the South win really ever, and it's just it's just a challenging part of the map, and I've done well in other parts of the map. So I wanted to challenge myself, and I wanted to see if me and Highgarden could ally and be pretty much on truce for the game. We still had strong borders, we still had defensive orders, so we weren't like being completely ridiculous, but we definitely had a little bit of level of trust for support and back and forth. Nathan tried the same deal with his border partner, who basically attacked him on turn 2 and threw everything into chaos
Right out of the game.
for a while. Because he couldn't understand the idea of being trustworthy long. Because I mean, if you betray someone on turn 2, they're going to come at you for a long time. Where if you're
Do it on turn 8.
yeah, they can't come back at you nearly as hard as because you do it so late. But when you
Right.
but when you show you're that untrustworthy on turn 2, no one's going to trust you the entire game because
Yeah.
obviously because you have an opportunity to take advantage of something doesn't mean you should take advantage of it early
Right.
game.
And because of it, he ended up taking the lead, like on turn 4.
Which is also a bad thing to do early in a war game.
Yeah.
If you can't close the door, and he actually was of the opinion that with 6 players, it's impossible to do the immediate victory condition where the game just ends and you declared victory. He's of the opinion, which might be true, that in the 6-player version, you always go to turn 10 and it goes to who's winning at the time. Which means that getting into the lead at turn 4 is terrible.
With 6 out of the 7 required was the worst move he could have done.
Yeah.
if
and
he
it-
thinks it's impossible to get to 7, yeah.
And the game is 7's an instant win. So if you're at 6 and you just have a ridiculously lucky turn, you just instant win. And I've seen people get 7 multiple times. So I've seen
in 2nd edition?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
you did it with one of those factions.
I didn't think that was 2nd edition.
Yeah,
Was it?
Yeah, we played a little bit.
Oh, okay.
But either
that,
way,
I mean, that hardly counted because I was cheating because I had 2 factions.
yes, that is true. But it was a fun game. I mean, it was your first time playing it. And,
Yeah.
And Baratheon's a pretty powerful faction, so you got to at least have
Yeah, you need to get the barrels, though. Baratheons have no barrels around them except one to the south of King's Landing, and they have to go forward and to the right of the map when you're looking at it. From the north is to your right and south is to your left.
Fascinating.
Well,
It's fascinating.
it's a game more of skill because there's no dice rolling. It's based on you have hard numbers of models and you have cards that each person has a card.
There's
that's valid
perfect
between, like,
knowledge.
Yeah, there's perfect knowledge of the game. So it's a very high strategy game. But everyone has counters against everyone else. Like I had cards that were countering John. John had cards that were countering me. I had cards. I mean, all your it's this ridiculous nonsense where you're always trying to scrape and crawl, and then when cross the entire game. So it's a fun board game. But again, it's a 5-hour game.
Yep. The only thing you don't have perfect knowledge of is there's 3 decks of cards at the top.
The event deck, yeah.
And you don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
But during your turns, like the turn starts with random events, but once that's done with, as far as moving and attacking and combat, everything is math. There's no randomness.
And you even know the hands of what your opponent can play for their cards.
Yeah.
Which is what I like about that game.
Yeah,
It does have some flaws, but it's I think it's a very solid game.
It's very high in my kind of games that are more war oriented. It's very high in my ranking of games.
Yeah.
For a while, I felt it was the best game out there, but I've now it's been knocked down a little bit. But it's still a game that I would never not be unhappy to play.
Yeah, for a while, the first edition when it first came out with the errata, the first edition was my go-to favorite 5-player game. But yeah, it's other good things have come out, so through no fault of its own.
Exactly. Yeah, the games are just getting better, so it's not like it's gotten worse. It's just games have evolved at these really great levels.
True story.
So that was part of our afternoon. So I know
As Greyjoy, we took Winterfell like we're supposed to. I tried to recreate the books.
You held it for a long time.
I almost came. Yeah, I almost came back from behind, and then the deck's like, "Oh, that was cute. Let's just stop pretending." And then I was out of the game.
And Dorn somehow squeaked it out.
Yep.
It was a close shenanigans.
Yep.
You stopped Winterfell from winning.
Yes, Winterfell was.
You stopped the Starks.
Take that.
The Starks aren't allowed to be successful.
And then Highgarden chose to not come into you to keep the truce that you guys had the whole game.
Yeah.
Because if he did that, Lannister would have won, and we don't want that.
Yeah.
Well, and you could have taken them completely out of the game.
You could have.
I could have eliminated Lannister and given the Starks a shot.
Well, yeah, then the Starks would have came into there.
Yeah, and I was torn. Maybe I should have eliminated Lannister, because the way I could have eliminated Lannister was by taking my own capital back, and when it comes to king making, it's difficult to decide what to do. And so you kind of have to come and decide. You're either just overtly saying, I want player X to win over player Y, or you have to find another justification for your decision so that that's not how you're deciding it. And in games that have victory points, the easiest thing for me to do is you decide on one of two things. Either do the thing that gets you the most points, regardless of who ends up winning. That way you're just doing it for you. Or what I go to is do the thing that moves you up the most spaces. So like if I can earn 10 points, I won't do that as much as if I can gain myself 5 but knock somebody else 6 if that puts me above them in the rankings. Even if I'm bashing the person who's in second to last, if it moves me from last to second to last, I was improving my position. Yeah. And so with games with victory points, you can do something like that, and you can justify it with strict greedy math. But in a war game, you can't really. So if I had eliminated the Lannister, I would have been done so by reclaiming my homeland, which probably fluff-wise was the thing to do. But I did it to fuck Stark, because I had used the same card to fuck over Stark 4 times, and this gave me a 5th opportunity, and I could not.
And for Highgarden, Highgarden had a card to let him do 2 attacks, which would have given him the game, but both me and Lannister happened to have counters.
What card did you have that counter? I know the Lannister one was Tyrion.
It forces him to retreat where he came from, and I also retreat. So basically, it
just cancels the battle.
Cancels. It's a cancel.
Yeah.
So it does basically create. So he couldn't take 2 from either of us. And then I was just happy that he actually helped a guy who was actually helping him the entire game instead of just randomly helping someone. So even though he kingmakered me, I literally was helping him for 10 turns. So it wasn't like
you had many chances to not help him. You even helped him in 3 battles against me.
He even helped him after that guy.
And that guy said, "Well, I'm not going to help you against me again." So
he stopped helping me at one point because he was paranoid of what
Brian
I still
helped
without
that
help.
guy 3 times, and then when Brian needed help, he's like, "Sorry."
Nope. He flipped a coin to decide whether he'd help him or not.
Yeah.
That's
Which, to be fair,
which is the same as not helping. Like, you're making that declaration.
I would have taken my knights and ran right down his throat with them.
Oh, it was
I'm like, "Hey, Brian, you want King's Landing? Don't care, going down Highgarden's throat."
Yeah, but it's an interesting game. It's going to play a good, big, thick war game that takes all day.
Yep.
Wouldn't have had any more damn
Nice
barrel
every
problems.
once in a while.
Do you have any stories, Andy?
No.
I wanted to chime in.
You guys have been so entertaining for the last.
You've been over
20
there
minutes.
dicking around with your computer. We wanted to give you time. We found a topic the 3 of us could talk about so that you could focus on fixing the stream.
Yeah.
Did you manage to fix the stream?
Yeah.
See, now that you're back involved with the conversation here, we will stop the conversation that you don't care about and switch to one that you do care about.
I don't care. I'm
About
very
anything?
nihilistic today.
All right. Should we have like a 5-minute War Machine talk?
We don't care about anything.
6-minute War Machine?
Lebowski.
Is there anything War Machine-ish that's
Anyone
interesting right
have
now?
any?
I bought 2 Gobber Chefs this week.
I actually want one. I need to get one.
You couldn't have them because he bought them.
I know. I saw one on the shelf, but I knew that it was supposed to be on hold for you, so I was like,
They had the one on hold for me too.
Oh,
so
okay.
so I that's how I bought 2. Is one was on hold and then I just bought the second one because why not?
I bought a bunch of mercs for my score, and I got Chuck, and I got some of the bog shooter ambusher guys. I did play Xerxes 2 with Drake Spam and Gators, and I just rolled over. Not rolled. Dan was playing Haley 3, and I won that game pretty well. It's pretty interesting because it was just it was fun to play that list, and it's something that's pretty good and be able to come on the top.
I felt good beating Morvana 2 with pigs. It's
Nice.
nice having RFP on trees. It's like fuck you, you're not bringing those back.
When Xerxes feats, those Drake spraying is just
I'd
ridiculous.
imagine.
It is glorious.
It was pretty. I was there to see that part of it. I wanted to come down and play a game, but I just couldn't fit time for it.
8-inch sprays.
Yeah.
They're at 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, with signs of importance, they're basically
Some are,
7.
and some are walking, and a lot of them I'm able to walk 8 because they have mobility, so it's just everything.
And they're magical, so if they do happen to get into an incorporeal Haley, it's goodbye.
Do remember though, if you are playing in a tournament, you are playing Xerxes 2. You make sure you mention to everybody in the tournament that's playing Scorn that they also receive his feat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has that been errated yet? Because it says
All models.
Well,
in his control area.
it's not friendly faction. So
Yeah,
it's literally
just
everybody.
All models are
Yeah.
in Xerxes.
Yeah, the
control
whole
area.
room is
in the planet.
yeah.
Yeah.
All models.
So
Yeah,
we should
yeah.
we should
You
also
gotta-
make
you gotta-
a
you gotta send
nationwide
it-
tweet
Yeah, you
as
gotta
well.
tweet out Xerxes 2 feet up for the notice.
And my point is, it also doesn't clarify that they're only War Machine and Hordes figure models. So,
You could be playing Age of Sigmar, and then boom, I got Xerxes 2 feet.
you feat with Xerxes 2, you need to tweet out and let Kate Upton know that she is in Xerxes 2's control area. Because she's a model.
Oh yeah, true.
That's so bad. That's so bad.
Yeah, Kate Upton, you're in Xerxes 2's control area. Bloop. She's just like, what?
It's like boobies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that's her response.
That's
what she says.
It might be. She just goes, boobies. Puts her phone back down.
That's probably accurate.
I don't think that's no.
You don't know. Maybe that's what she's like.
Maybe she likes boobies, Andy.
Maybe she just likes saying the word boobies. It's a fun word.
It's a fun, in my,
It is a
in
fun
my, in
word,
my
yes.
role, she says the word boobies a lot.
Yeah.
Is it's
I'm actually
distinctly
sad
in
that I'm
your
in
voice
Brian
as
world
well?
right now.
Boobies is a fun word. Wiener is a fun word, too.
I'm thinking about kicking this person out of the chat though. His name is Vox Player. The fucker is not on our podcast today.
Vox player.
That guy's terrible.
I heard Vox, and I was thinking of Vox.
Oh, he's not on
Clockwork
anymore.
Vox. Because Alex doesn't play War Machine. He quit his podcast. He likes Guild Ball. He's moving to California.
Oh, sadness.
Everything is sad.
Speaking of Guild Ball,
Is this an announcement?
this is kind of an announcement.
They're doing like a 2.0 now again? Or
No.
Oh, whatever.
So,
are we going to piss off another community?
Yep, I'm going to try to. Muse at MinisCon is coming up.
Yeah.
And so they have, it's mainly centered around War Machine. They have a couple side games like Infinity, X-Wing, and this thing called Guild Ball.
Blood Bowl.
And I am going to run a Blood Bowl tournament.
See, I was shouting that out for you. I was segueing that in.
Yeah.
Go with the Guild Ball thing.
I am hopeful that I can pull more people than what they can pull in.
The Europeans are coming for it, so probably not anymore.
For Guild Ball?
yeah.
I bet you we could probably
Europeans
still...
will play Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
bet you we could still
Yeah,
pull...
but some of the guys who support, they're coming for Guild Ball. Some of those guys.
That's what they
Are they really?
That's fine.
Yeah. Well, someone like Jamie P.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, considering the Blood Bowl equivalent of the WTC was double of the regular the War Machine WTC. It was 912 players played and paid to go to a country and play Blood Bowl. 912 players.
And they played
For a
5
game-
rounds, so you could have like 84.
No, that's like 2 days worth of Blood Bowl too.
It was more. Let's do 5 games. Usually they do more than 5 games.
They do definitely more than 5. I know that for sure.
That's cool.
But I mean,
good.
That's a lot of people.
It's insane for a game that's over 12 years old.
And is terrible.
No,
The
not
D6
terrible.
system breaks my brain.
Yeah.
It does hurt.
They have to. I'm telling you, they get our idea of the no fumble or no turnovers on anything outside of a ball loss, and I'm back.
Yeah. We should just do that. We should do a local league with that house rule, and I think that'd be a lot of fun because you'd play it, Jim would play it. I think we'd get a good turnout because you remember this conversation, right?
I know.
Turnovers only if the ball hits the ground.
I would
It's
like
the first thing you do is a
I'd
block
like to
with a
s-
reroll, and you just roll double skulls,
No, I know.
and it's like,
I know.
okay, I didn't want to play anyway.
I know. I would like to see what they do because they're talking about doing a revision. I'd like to see what they're doing now, considering the rules for that game they're dated. They're completely
Well,
dated.
they came out in like the late 80s ish.
No,
The
this
current edition.
the current edition was basically third edition. It's just built off of third edition. That came out in like '94.
Yeah, but
I mean,
but 20 years
That's
old.
22
The rules are
years
old
ago.
enough to
no,
drink.
but I mean, like the newest version of Blood Bowl, the Living Rulebook 6 that everyone
Okay.
plays with. That's within the last, I want to say 12 years.
Yeah, but that's just a little polishing. That
It's a
wasn't
lot.
fair.
It's a lot of polishing, but the basic core rules is still
Right.
the same as then.
Yes.
So I'd like to see if they do a revision of Blood Bowl. I'd like to see what they do with it to bring it in rules competitive wise to other games. I
Aren't they
we're just-
remaking the
won't.
teams?
I mean, GW. I mean, that's not their priority. Is making
it's
a game.
it's part of the specialist
competitive.
games line, and they're redoing
Yeah, I
a
was
lot
saying
of the
they're redoing
specialist
some
No,
of
I
games.
know they're.
I thought.
I know that they're going to redo it, but you're going to say to bring it into a competitive, balanced level, and the answer is they
No,
won't.
well, no, it's not going to be. It's not going to be balanced. Blood Bowl has never been balanced.
Yeah.
They'll bring it to a competitive level. I mean, we were just talking about it. Is you guys were talking about playing
Yeah.
back in the day, playing Game of Thrones, and nowadays, now that you play it, the rules are a little bit wonky.
Yeah.
Because there's other systems out there. I'd like to see what they can do if they can actually bring out a modern set of rules for
I
us.
would be very. I mean, man, the community. Some of the Blue Book community would flip their fucking shit brainstorm. They would shit themselves if they changed the rules, and I would. Oh man, I'd have to go back to the forums.
It would be pretty.
Trolling Blood Bowl forums was. That's where I learned a lot of my trolling days. Got really fine. I got banned from a lot of forums.
Just the rules from going into Living Rulebook 6. There
Yeah.
was a lot of people there freaking out about how things were being changed.
Yeah, it'd be awesome if they revamped the rules. It'd be-
Yeah, I guess I'm pessimistic about, like Blood Bowl could be revamped in a lot of interesting ways and polished really well. I just don't think the mindset of the company that it would be done.
I don't think it would actually be really fully handled by GW, though. It would probably be handled more by Cyanide, the video game company that's been working with it for a while.
I mean, yeah, if they shop it out to somebody who cares more about the competitive solid rule writing aspect of it, they could do a really good job because the spirit of it is there, the main mechanics there, the grid based thing. I mean, it's a very, very good game with a few glaring things that are dated, like the D6 mechanic system and the turnover system. Like I said, I like the turnover system. It's just there's no reason that an offensive block halfway across the field from the ball should cost you your entire turn.
I can tell you the reason why those rules were put into play is because from a game over 20 years old, Blood Bowl 2nd Edition, it made it just basically so games, if you sat down and played a game with somebody, it took 6 hours. Because you were able to take an action with every single one of your players. And if you take an action with every single one of your players, every single turn, the game will go for 6 hours.
Well, you still have timers, which just comes into play a little.
Yeah, I
bit.
mean, you have timers, so you don't need the turnover thing, right? If every turn you get, 4 minutes?
Well, that's an optional rule, though. I mean, that's
So make it not optional. To my knowledge, it's not really optional.
it is an optional
Having the
rule.
timers optional? Oh, I thought it was mandatory.
No.
Because there's even a thing like if you don't flip the timer, like you lose a timeout and shit like that. Like, isn't that in
There
the
was
core?
something about I forget.
No,
what
if
it
you
was.
forget to move your turn marker, it's a
Turn
it's,
marker.
Oh,
it's,
turn
it's
marker.
a
Okay.
illegal procedure.
Gotcha.
illegal procedure, suck it.
Either way, but I mean,
then you laugh.
I don't think the PC game makes you do that.
no, it just
Yeah.
always has the timer and always moves your turn marker, so
Yeah.
it's not a necessary thing. It's just it's the D6 mechanic. The strength of the D6 mechanic is that anything can succeed and anything can fail. And I don't even mind the 1 out of 6 times. I just mind that you have a 99%er, you do it as your first action, and the game just says nope, you lose your entire turn. It's like playing War
correct,
Machine, and the
correct.
first time you roll Snake Eyes, you just lose a turn. And
No,
it's like,
I understand that, but I would like it if it was increased to like a better bell curve, like a 2d6 system or something like that. It would make it a little bit more fluid, I think.
maybe.
But
I don't know,
well,
that's
you should see a good turnout though for MomCon. You should. I mean, there will be enough people playing it.
I'm guessing. I mean, there is an actual podcast, a well-known podcast for it that's in Iowa City. And
Did you contact them?
No, but I know the guys.
Yeah,
So,
you
I
should
mean,
let them
I-
know that you're going to be there.
Yeah, one person already has.
So you
What-
contacted them.
I didn't contact them.
You are
They were
in contact
contacted.
with them.
I didn't know. There's somebody else who was on the committee for the scheduling and that had said, "Oh, I'll let them know."
Oh, okay.
So,
I don't trust people enough to not to for that.
well, he seemed very, very keen on it.
Are there like Blood Bowl forums you can go to?
Yeah.
To
Yep. There's. I know a couple of the organizers.
BloodBowlCentral.org?
No. No, BloodBowlCentral.com.
Yeah, .com.
It's still there.
Yeah,
Sure.
It's a space in the webs.
Yeah.
it is.
Well, lesson learned. Just in general, don't be a fan of GW's works, or else they'll shut down your website.
No, they didn't shut down my website.
Who was it that got shut down by the cease and desist?
Just about everybody else
Yeah.
but me.
Yeah.
No, my site's just.
I
perfectly
sure
fine.
love Space Marines. Up, you use the term Space Marines, lawsuit, shut down. How dare you like us?
They have maybe just an overzealous legal department that has no check on them whatsoever.
Yeah, it might be.
But
Oh, my
has
No,
Blizzard and GW ever gone at it?
Like,
Over
are you
Space
trying
Marines?
to do slash fiction of two companies having sex?
okay,
be so good.
who do you think's first? That's my question to John right now.
Starship Troopers.
I say I would guess Space Marines from 40K were before Space Marines from Blizzard.
Correct. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Space Marines from 40K
Or
existed
way
back
back
in the 80s,
before like
right?
StarCraft or whatever. But a fucking orc. I mean, a fucking Space Marine. Like, you're not making up new stuff.
They invented
I agree.
space and sex.
Well, that's why now
No, they didn't make up space and
I
sex
know.
because that's fucking aliens.
Or Starship Troopers.
they made up
Xenomorphs.
French people, right?
Yeah.
Brett's. That's why now there aren't orcs in Warhammer anymore.
Oh,
There are Urararaks because they
Yeah.
can sue you if you mention Uraraks.
And they should, because if you say that name, you should
You should just be punished.
That's their punishment.
Yeah, somebody was just mentioned it's like he thought the Blood Bowl community died with GeoCities. You should go and check out thenaf.net. It is the kind of like the community hub for Blood Bowl. Basically, you go and get your tournaments. It's the same place like how Magic the Gathering is done, where you can have your ranking done. In
Yeah.
a sense, that's what the NAF.net is.
They don't have to live underground like the people from Demolition Man hiding
Correct.
from GW's lawyers.
Correct. Well, they did because they got shut down for
course they did.
to having BloodBowl.net.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
I don't think they got shut down. They were basically just asked to change it.
Yep.
But anyway,
I don't want to hate them. I really don't. It's not like a hobby of mine. I just see shit like that. And I'm just like, God, I fucking hate
The
you.
company makes it easy.
Like, it just boggles my mind. Like, who goes, hey, look, these people have fan art. We should probably punish them for actually liking us. Hey, that guy got a tattoo and put a picture of his tattoo. Let's sue him. Like, well, the fuck? He got a tattoo of your game logo. Like, he loves you. He fucking loves you. And your response is to sue him. I just don't get it.
I mean,
Boggles
I don't
my
want to sound
mind.
like I'm always defending them, but I haven't seen anything of recent for that.
You never should have seen it ever.
But it happened.
I know,
Right?
I know.
You never should have seen it ever.
Yeah, I know.
And like the thing that happened with the Blood Bowl models, where the company...
That discussion is like 7 years old. They haven't done a single thing for that.
But the mindset that did that. Like...
They said it offhandedly. Yes, they. I mean, did they follow through with any of that? Did they actually pull the rules for Blood Bowl off of their website?
Did the other
Because-
company back down?
No.
Even still, the mindset of your response, another company is selling models for your game, and your response is to fuck over the community. Not sue that company, but to fuck over the fan base that had nothing to do with
They
it.
didn't.
But that's what they threatened to do. Like, why would that be your go-to thing?
I don't know. I'm done with the conversation.
Okay, no, that's fine. Like, if somebody sells a fucking War Machine look-like model and Private Jet Press announced that they're shutting down all steamroller tournaments everywhere and nobody can buy a steamroller kit because they think that's the appropriate thing to do, you'd be cool with that? Like, even if they didn't follow through with it. My point is the mindset that's their first thought is like, hey, this is what we should threaten to do. We should threaten to fuck over the community. We shouldn't do something to the company that's threatening us. Their first thought as a solution was to threaten to screw over all of their fans.
Zappity.
Grumble.
I'm shocked you can defend that. The fact that they didn't do
It wasn't actually printed per se from Games Workshop that they said they were going to do this. It may have been something that was misheard or misquoted from somebody that did it. They never went ahead and actually pulled the rules for the game because third-party companies were making star player models. They never did that.
I know they didn't do it.
And that's what I'm saying is maybe the quote itself actually didn't exist from Games Workshop itself, or it may have been taken by somebody else who was quoting for them.
All right.
It doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Recommendations?
Hello?
Hi.
I'm drinking my water. I'm thirsty. I'm my 17th thing of water today. I'm going to pee later.
You should drink lots of water. Not too much, though. You'll die like that lady who drank all the water to win a Wii.
But I constantly pee. I don't stop peeing so I can keep drinking water. As long as it's coming in and out the exact same ratio.
That's good. It should come out, and it comes out the same color, too.
Yeah, well,
He puts it in a bottle. He's drinking it right now.
Yeah, I just literally, come back out.
Oh, that was empty when you put it down there?
That's why I
Okay.
keep it down there and I can fill it back up. When you drink 80s a day, it comes out pretty clear. That's how you do it. That's how I do it. Oh, yeah.
Work gives us ice for our water. It's really nice.
That's a pretty amazing story, John. Thanks.
On the water train.
They give you ice for your water?
Yeah.
That's your amazing benefit of working for them is that ice exists?
Ice.
And on payday, they feed us donuts and or bagels and or fruit. I learned that you're only supposed to take the fruit if you are gluten intolerant, apparently.
What the fuck are you talking about?
That's a benefit of working where we work.
They give us bagels, fruit, and donuts. I don't eat the fruit because it's all like, it's blueberries and all the stuff's cut out or whatever. But I can't eat it because I don't want my fruit to touch. Like the fruit juices touch. Like the whatever.
The strawberries will taste a lot like blueberries.
Yeah, and it's
Because
unacceptable to
they're
me.
surrounded by blueberries.
I'll eat a ton of blueberries. I'll eat a ton of strawberries. But for God's sakes, keep the fucking juice of a blueberry off my strawberry.
Yeah. I don't like blueberries in berry form. Like, they're okay, like, in a muffin or something, but by themselves, I think they're just, I don't know.
Kind of tart.
Well, they have
Yeah.
other weird fruit that touches it. It's just juice everywhere. It's just so I just eat, but I eat a donut every Friday because I'm a fucking normal person, and it's like my one donut every month, or 2 donuts. I get 2 donuts a month. It's on payday. Only reason I go to work on my payday Fridays for a free donut.
Yeah, I was talking to a person, and I'm just scooping fruit onto my plate, and they're like, "Oh, you have gluten intolerance," and I'm like, "No."
No, I would have been like, "What?" Everyone comes and
That's
takes
what
fruit.
they said.
And they're like, "Oh, the fruit's for the intolerant."
You know how rare gluten intolerance actually is for people?
Not particularly.
Like,
It's really rare. For
like
people.
1 in a fucking 100,000. Like,
Yeah.
There
all
are-
the people you know who claim they're gluten intolerant are liars.
I
know
got a
people
sore
that are
tummy
on
because I ate
gluten-free
some bread.
diets.
Yeah. That's
And I guess that's kind of what
Which has
they're-
no value either. I know one person who literally was diagnosed from a doctor.
With
They have-
celiac. Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, everyone else is like, well,
And that's like you go in a room that has a loaf of bread in the corner 50
Yeah.
feet away from you and you die. Like, that's the peanut allergy on the plane level when you have
Yeah.
that shit. All the other stuff. Yeah.
No, there's a lot of people.
Everyone
at our
else just
office
being
that do
trendy and
just
stupid.
not eat gluten.
if you drink if you drink almond milk or you avoid gluten, it's because you're an idiot.
yeah. Gluten basically most of the good diet foods you have would be something that would be in a sense gluten free or similarly.
Gotcha.
That's why people seem to be on the kick for gluten free is because it has more it's better in a sense for a diet, I guess.
It just sounds better. It sounds exciting. I'm gluten free.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm cocaine free in my diet. I'm on a cocaine free diet.
Sounds like a good diet.
But it's kind of sad.
Yeah, so just by taking blueberries and strawberries instead of a donut, it was assumed that I had a gluten allergy, so I also put a donut on my plate.
Everyone I go goes over there and work. Yeah. Anyway, I guess talking about my work's lunch, my breakfast free meal thing is the most exciting thing in the world.
Yeah.
But it's weird. That's hilarious.
How the hell did we get on that?
I don't know.
Yeah. You said recommendations. I
No,
recommend
Brian
something
said
else.
So my
recommendations.
here's a work story. My boss. So I got a successful review recently, which is good. It's fine. It's successful. I'm salary. You get a successful 95% of the time. It's just life.
Yeah.
But the last couple of years, I actually got better than that, and I switched managers, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. You got me that. I'm like, what do you want to get a better review? I want to know what are your expectations. And he's like, well, here's you would do this. You would do this one action, which you kind of did this last year, which was cool, or this, which actually you kind of did this whole last year as well, or this, which you also did this last year. And I'm like, oh, interesting. He looked at me, he's like, oh yeah. And then he had the moment where he just realized he literally described everything he wanted that I had done in every example possible, and I caught him because I fucking knew I fucking deserved better.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, then we moved on. But this little moment, it kind of a little uncomfortable just for a second. He just realized, yeah, we both know. We both know it just happened. And then, but I didn't want to raise a stink because I still make good money. I'm not going to push anything. But it was just a little moment, a little like,
So he just admitted that he was screwing you out of getting a better raise.
yeah. No, I mean, my company. You're talking like a successful is like a
Sure,
2%
yeah,
raise,
like a half a percent
The next,
difference.
it's like it's a half. It's like pennies per paycheck. It's irrelevant.
Yeah.
So I didn't push it at all. But it was just. It was
You
a
made
little-
your point.
Yeah, I made my point. I was like, yeah, so.
Next year he'll know.
Yeah, next year he'll fucking know. So that's all that mattered. I laid the groundwork.
Brian asserted dominance to his new manager.
I did. It was a pretty good moment. I was proud of myself. And then I left for the day. That was my work story.
You left work and played War Machine.
I played War Machine. I unleashed the Drakes on the world, which was
I was
amazing.
going to say you were not planning that earlier.
Yeah,
it
no,
didn't seem like it.
Yeah, I know. I left work. I've been doing a lot of instead of taking half day, I take like night. I just cut out like 90 minutes early, so I can really stretch out my vacation time. Because when you take a vacation day and you stretch it up into a bunch of 90-minute segments, that's like many Fridays of leaving early, just a little bit. Plus, I start at 6 in the morning, so for me, I get to leave at like 1:30. It's amazeballs.
It's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, working at 6 in the morning seems like it'd be terrible, but once you're awake, I hate waking up, but once I'm awake, I'm awake.
Yeah.
I don't mind. 5 minutes later, I'm just like, do, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm a zombie. I hit snooze 50 times.
That
I
first
hate
5
getting out of
minutes
bed.
is so fucking
First
good.
5
I
minutes,
hate getting out of bed. But once I'm
question-
out, I can do cartwheels.
I
don't care.
question every decision in my life, and I feel like I'm a failure for that. Yeah, those first 5 minutes but after that, if you make it to the shower, that's really the
Right.
key. Get from bed to the shower, and then everything is fine.
I don't know. Depending on how quickly you get there and how warm the shower is, you might not count as being awake. I can just stand in the shower for an hour, just
My shower
zoning out.
Fucking burn. It's like
Yeah.
scorching. Scorched earth policy.
Yeah.
Pretty good shit. Yeah. But I have no other topics. I just wanted to. I don't know. Do we have any more Zappities? Or do we go over?
We had new ones.
Yeah, we had a few new ones,
Okay.
but I'm not ready for that right now.
All right.
So
They're all hiding on the phone.
Hi.
We never did talk about War Machine.
no,
We
I
did
mentioned
briefly.
the Gobber. I mentioned I bought 2 chefs. That was the extent of the
I'm
story.
looking forward to bringing Map. I'm dropping Maximus into my scoring lists.
He's a good 2-point solo.
He's going to fall out of my Annihilators, I think. He's got a kind of a crazy tough Berserker in the middle of my Berserkers.
Don't scare your own guys.
They're fearless.
No, but your other guys.
I make sure my armor's fearless. I don't. Non-fearless shit is
But
stupid.
your platoon.
Yeah.
Your platoon isn't fearless.
Yep.
Good thing they get benefits for being right next to your abomination models.
Yeah, bonuses except for command.
so I have this weather widget that's on my phone.
You just need.
oh, good.
Yeah,
I was just say you just need to have the Tycom.
yeah, which you can't do if you're playing just platoon.
You can bring the platoon in a 50
No,
point army and then
but
bring
if you
the
want
Tycom.
if you want upgrades, you have to play just the platoon.
You can get upgrades for your platoon by playing not just the platoon.
Nope.
You can pack it.
Nope, that is not true.
Yeah,
You get upgrades for winning platoon games.
Yeah, you also get upgrades for winning normal 50-point games.
No.
As long as the platoon is in that game.
No,
Yeah, I got the thing.
He
All
just
right,
said
you
no.
get the thing, but that's not at all what I saw.
Zappity.
I did find it amusing. Like, Minions player, I play only pigs currently, and I was annoyed that the Minion platoon that was coming out was Gator based.
Yeah.
And then when it came out, they're actually way better in pigs. Because they don't start with an upgrade. Their first upgrade is that you can play them in either pact, which means that the Gator players literally get no bonus benefit at all to playing those models, but the pig players get access to them, which is huge, because you can put Defender's Ward on the Croak Hunters and stuff like that, and that's gigantic.
That is good.
And like page 1, dude. I don't know why you're
Just
scrolling
right here.
through all that stuff.
All right.
Page 23.
All right. Read yourself. We're zapping.
Yeah, go find it, and then Zappity Grumbles. Cater's way to beat Protector and Menoth.
Cater's way to beat Menoth.
Thing, like for
I think, does he just Doom Reaver them? Is that what Jordan does?
So, say what again?
Cater beating Menoth, the best way to do it. Or does he pikeman them? I can't remember if he pikemans them or
He probably pikemans him because auto fire.
Yeah.
I just want to scroll.
Yeah. And he has, it's probably the pikeman, the Butcher 1 pikeman theme list, I think he does. It's one of those two he runs over Menoth. I forget which it is. Pikeman or Doom Reavers. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Yeah, I have no
I'm
idea.
guessing both are pretty good choices, though.
Depends on the list, but yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to most Menoth, I would imagine the pikeman would be the right choice.
Yep.
Because when they go in, they just blow everything up. And Jordan doesn't care about them passaging anyway, no
Yep.
matter what.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's a Zappity.
Grumble. Ways to improve alone time or get through painting units.
To improve alone time?
Yeah.
How to improve alone time? Stop having friends.
Yeah. Well, it gives you more alone time.
Yeah.
Doesn't improve your alone time.
I got it.
I think alone time is perfect the way it is.
Specifically for the platoon turn scenario.
Turn on the TV and boom.
You get league points for any scenario, but you only get upgrades for playing the platoon skirmish scenarios. So once you unlock them by winning platoon skirmish games, you can use them with those upgrades in normal games, but you
I see,
only
I see.
get...
platoon skirmish scenario.
That's how you improve alone time.
Yeah. Painting, put on a show you've watched a million times and you can just paint.
Yeah, I
within the
just
background.
throw on something from Netflix that I've seen a million times. Right now, we put on Justified until I hit the last season, and then I'll have to pay attention again.
And you're watching Amazon Prime, not
And that's on Prime. That's
just to
not
correct
on
you, it's not on Netflix. It's on
That is
Amazon
not
Prime.
Netflix.
Oh my god, I'm so tempted to get Amazon Prime now because somebody said that Batman the Animated Series is on it.
I think it is, yeah.
So I could watch Heart of Ice like anytime I wanted to. Or Silicon Soul or any of the Clayface episodes.
The Clayface ones are definitely worth watching again.
Heart of Ice is fucking amazing. And the entire comic book industry redid a character because of how good that episode was. Like, Mr. Freeze was a garbage C-tier, non-interesting character, and now he has one of the most interesting backstories.
That episode makes you feel.
Yeah.
And that is one reason why I would avoid it still to this day. I've watched it a few times, and every time I watch it, I'm just, why did I put myself through watching this again?
Yep.
Zappity. Favorite Western themed board game? Shadows of Brimstone. Sniped before Brian.
Yeah.
What is that
Cold
one?
Express.
That is what I was thinking of.
There you go.
Sniped for John.
I got nothing.
Well, that's because we got Shadows over Brimstone and
Yeah.
Cold Express. Like, you got nothing else.
Nothing. You got nothing.
You're fucked.
It's true, I quit.
You quit Western board games. Excellent.
Zappity.
Grumble. Which Brian would you rather be stuck in a broken down elevator with, and why?
How long is the elevator broken?
I'm going to say for 48 hours.
There's a lot of pee and poop in that elevator. How can you get in an elevator for 48 hours? What has happened in the world?
Over the weekend.
Yeah, you're stuck there for
Yeah,
the weekend.
You get into the elevator late night, Friday night, and then you're not freed until Monday morning.
Your answer is easy.
Yourself.
It is pretty easy. I have a pee corner and a poop corner.
Kerr would keep you entertained.
Yeah, but he'd talk about terrible things, and I'd be just like,
And they're
please
all
shut
entertaining.
up. Ah,
They're not all entertaining.
not always.
No.
Yesterday at the party, I came upstairs and he was describing having Menzies on his face, and I just literally backed away, down the stairs.
You took that completely out of context.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. There must have been a great context about having to wipe menstrual fluid off of your cheeks.
We were talking about Ronald McDonald, and then that was the natural progression.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. That makes perfect sense. He's well known for giving oral sex to women who are currently menstruating. That was one of their ad campaigns, actually.
That's how he gets the red. That's how he gets the red lips.
Zappity.
Grumble.
Zappity. Please.
I choose Geezy.
I do as well. I know Brian here the most. So.
Assuming, see, if they can't rescue us, they can drop 2-player board games down the shaft, and we'll be entertained.
I don't think they're going to, though.
We'll figure it out.
Have your iPads with you, and then you guys can play.
Well, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, well, I always have something. Soon I'll always have Twilight Struggle on my phone.
Soon.
And Brian keeps War of the Ring in his pocket at all times.
Yeah.
Brian does also recycle his own water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're
We'll stay hydrated. I can drink half of it. He'll share.
All right, Zappity.
Rumble.
Best film in the Cornetto trilogy. Trilogy. What the fuck am I?
What?
Best film in the Cornetto trilogy.
Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, or World's End.
Shaun of the Dead.
I'd say Shaun of the Dead seems like the obvious choice.
I want to see World's End at least 3 more times because I actually really liked it the first time I saw it. But currently, I'll stick with Shaun of the Dead.
I am going to be the odd one. I really like Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
But
I'm happy anyway I'm going.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
there you go.
they're all 3 great movies.
Yep. Candy hearts or candy corn?
Hearts.
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 Done. It's happening.
I mean, candy corn is the worst candy, so,
It
you know.
is.
I mean, if I had a choice between the two, I don't mind candy corn. I mean, if it was candy corn and maybe some other horrible thing, like Mounds.
I like Mounds.
Okay, they don't like the coconut, and
fucking
he's trolling
coconut.
me.
Oh, you guys don't like
I'm not
coconut.
trolling you.
Well, you knew I'd get angry about it, but even if it is true. But I don't get people who don't like the it's so
Coconut's
good.
legit.
Oh my god, like you get the magic bars, like, you know, the have you not had magic bars?
I've not had a magic
Oh,
bar.
I'm gonna make magic bars and bring them on Thursday. You're gonna be so happy.
Sounds like a threat.
Oh no, they're
Sounds like
so
a
fucking
promise,
good. This is
'cause-
not a marijuana thing either. This is chocolatey, syrupy, coconutty, nutty goodness. It's so good.
Brian's thinking right now, thank God we're playing Nathan's game.
He will eat these. Like, even though they got coconut on top, these are so fucking
No,
delicious.
coconut ruins everything.
No.
It's like Electrobeck.
Because remember that one time I brought those crunchy little donuts, and you're like, what's this on them? And I'm like, I think it's just crunchy stuff. And you're like, it's not coconut. And I'm like, no, it's not coconut. And then you ate like 4 of them. It turns out that was coconut.
I didn't have 4 of them.
I forgot that was coconut. I thought it was just like
Crunchy things.
I thought it was like streusel, you know, like on top of coffee cake.
Yeah, the texture of coconut, I cannot
can't-
get
yeah, you
rid
can't.
of. Cannot get rid of it. It's
Can't
just,
bypass it.
just so. Yeah, like people try to hide it inside like a cake or something like that. No, you just. It's like this cake has small intestines.
Zappity.
Zappity.
Boom.
Does Legan fuck me?
Words are hard.
Jesus Christ. Does Legion actually have trouble killing assault commandos? I would say no. Considering if you bring any of the awesome Legion, not artillery, but their infantry,
And
they'll
the
shoot it off the
infantry.
table.
Scythians will still go into it and do stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, like bolt throwers work awesome with them. I mean, you can't just bring just immune to fire and expect you to be anti-Legion. Legion does have a lot of options outside of that.
It's helpful.
Yeah, it's helpful. But I mean, like their cav will eat those guys alive.
Yeah, the ladies on the stags.
Raptors will just eat them alive, especially if they have Wenessa there too,
Yeah.
or
And
whatever.
Even like a Blightbringer
Anissa.
nowadays, shooting out that 5-inch AoE is still probably going to hurt. Because I don't think that's typed naturally.
What is it?
The
What?
Blightbringer?
Oh yeah, no, I don't think it's typed either.
It might be, not be. I know the bolt thrower was always the go-to non-typed, and then the Naga. But no, I mean it's helpful. It's really nice to be immune to Ravagors and to the clouds they leave behind.
And if you go into
Super
them, and
convenient.
if Legion can't kill the Assault Commandos, the good news is the Assault Commandos can't actually do anything back to Legion.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
will
yeah.
probably miss them, and if they hit them, they won't do any actual damage back. So,
That is pretty much the true part of that question. Is why are you taking Assault Commandos in the first place?
the flamethrower guy will do some damage, and the rest of you will just go, I wish I could hurt something.
I was wrong. It is typed fire.
It would be really cool if you could take the flamethrower just by itself and just
Yeah.
take 3 of those flamethrowers out. That would be cool.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you have to pay for a 5-man.
I'm really waiting for them to get buffed in some errata. Like, they get,
They'll
Assault
have a
Commandos
UA.
do something.
Well, I mean, they hinted at revamping a lot of stuff. Like now, people are getting more and more evidence that's pointing towards an eventual remix.
Yeah. Zappy. Anything else?
No, that was it for Zap. Oh, there was one on Twitter that I forgot to open up. 'cause
One
I saw
on
that-
Twitter.
Tord wanted to know if he should make a sandwich, and the answer is always yes, because sandwiches are the best. And then he wanted to hire one of you to murder me.
No, he wants to know who is the best person to send the PayPal money for the.
The kicking Nathan in the groin thing?
No, it was
No.
murder.
Oh.
No, it's hypothetically. Who is the best person to PayPal if you wanted to arrange to have Nathan murdered? Hypothetically,
I know people.
Right now, Andy would do it for free.
no, I love you, Nathan.
I'll still do it. I like him, but I'll do it for
I'm
money.
gonna say something off air, but I love you, Nathan.
Yeah.
We're very excited for the WITC. It'd be nice, Travis, if you would have responded to my talk about getting you on our podcast, but instead you want to amuse.
It's hurtful.
It's very hurtful.
When are we going to get somebody who's on the WITC committee to talk on the podcast?
Yeah,
Yeah, when would that happen?
yeah.
When? Find somebody.
Somebody worth a damn.
Look at Dan. He helps a little bit, right?
Yeah.
He's a helper.
Yeah.
He has some input.
I also have some stuff to pass on to you for patches and dice and such.
Cool. Yeah.
I talked about that, but I don't post about that. What is the next awesome thing Nathan will hate?
Everything.
Gravy? Do you like gravy?
Yeah.
People are very mad about your anti-tea comments. I'm very happy with their
Do
community.
you like chicken salt?
Tea is so bad. Like the thing with tea and coffee, I don't know which is worse: drinking the water that you like boiled grass clippings in, or drinking water that you like soaked through burnt wood. And those are the two choices.
Not wood.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
beans.
Oh, sure.
It's not like it's made
burnt-
out of cinnamon or something.
Okay, well,
It's
some
not
people
burnt,
make it out
it's
of
slightly
cat shit.
roasted. It's not cat.
It is
shit.
technically
Isn't
a
it-
variety of
isn't-
cat.
Is it a variety of cat?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
some Guatemalan monkey cat that
I thought it
shits
was
out
more
the
like a
beans.
monkey.
It's technically part of the cat family, I believe.
I'm waiting for you to play XCOM 2 and not like it.
That's not possible.
Well, I mean, it shouldn't be possible.
I'm going to. I was actually going to start live streaming me playing XCOM 2, and it was going to be Terror from the Deep. I was going to go back and play the classic XCOM 2, but that game's fucking hard.
XCOM 2 can be quite hard.
The classic XCOMs are so goddamn brutal.
I didn't play the classic ones.
Oh, they're so brutal.
It's
But gravy's good.
gravy is really
Gravy's
good.
really good, man.
Chicken salt?
Chicken salt.
That's what Tord asked.
The fuck is chicken salt?
I don't know.
Is it salt with like? Is it like if you
it's
took
probably-
like chicken
it's-
bouillon and crushed it down to the actual dust
probably,
version?
It's probably what it is. It's just chicken bouillon. Is what it is.
Yeah.
I was going to
That'd be
bring
good.
crackers and eggs, but we came right here from your podcast. I apologize. I think I might one of these.
Taking them to the party.
I
was going to.
I'm gonna. I forgot. I failed. I was gonna bring them to Saturday. It's a big bowl of crackers and eggs.
Onions?
No, what?
Just trying to find things you just like.
Just
sounds good.
Tord's asking what things you might find to hate now.
Onions are good.
All right. So I guess we'll have to try
Watching
again next
Brian
week.
eat onion rings is great.
It is.
They're
well,
really good.
The breading is great.
Yeah.
He eats it like corn on the cob, where you eat the outer surface and just leave the inside on the plate.
Yeah.
I love Denny's onion rings because you can peel them right off without even having to touch the onions. That's the best deep fried onion rings there is.
All right. And Green is asking who has an open spot in their WITC team.
Man, if I had known he wanted in, I would have.
You would have just bumped me?
Probably, but too late now.
You can't have two cricks.
That Kickstarter should help a lot with the the WITC price. I know we've only got a few teams signed up so far, but there's a lot of teams out there that haven't signed up yet. And I know from talking to people that a lot of people are holding off because they don't know how much it's going to cost. And based on that initial post, that was the most pessimistic possible post, we said that it could cost as much as $500. And that's obviously not happening because the Kickstarter did have money come in. So we'll be able to, soon, hopefully. And we might just wait until the end of the Kickstarter just so we can do it 100% with accuracy. But since the Kickstarter, the nebulous things was like the cost of the room was going to have to be split amongst all the teams. And then the terrain and clocks and things like that, those are set in stone. Like each table has its own share of that, right? Like 10 tables worth of terrain or 100 tables worth of terrain, the price per table is the same, and the number of teams there's always 2 people per table, right? So you can take and math out how much each table costs.
Are you going with 3D terrain or like
No, we're going with
2D?
We're going with
stuff?
2D, yeah, because we got a deal on it.
And it's really nice that we can just lay it out as easy.
Yeah,
as
And
to
storage
back up.
is so nice, transport is so nice. But the point is, the room cost was nebulous because all the other costs, each table needs one set of terrain, one set of zones, one thing of this, one 4x4 board, and a 4-foot table and 2 chairs, and that's what a table costs. And for 2 people, it'll always cost X dollars per person. So whether we had 2 teams, 16 teams, or 32 teams sign up, it was just going to be that number times the number of players, which means we can set that cost in stone and say each team that signs up has to pay X dollars because we know that's what a table costs. The nebulous cost was the hall, because if the hall's the hall costs $3,000, for example. If one guy shows up, he needs to pay $3,000 for the hall. If 3,000 people show up, they're paying $1 each for the hall, right? So we have this weird sliding scale depending on how many people signed up, and that's because of that. And that's why the price wasn't set in stone, was because of that one thing. So really and then we'll crunch the numbers, but hypothetically, we should just be able to say, well, if the Kickstarter pays for the hall entirely, the price per table is blank, which means the price per team is blank. So we should be able to figure out that number and set it in stone and put it out there so people don't have to worry that they're going to sign up and all of a sudden it costs way more than they want to pay.
Yeah.
And I think that number will be relatively low.
Yeah, I mean, you should be able to figure out how much the hall costs, take that out of the Kickstarter, and then as more money gets put into it, you just say, well, now a little bit more is knocked off.
Well, assuming the Kickstarter has enough to just flat out pay for the hall, then like I said, it's set in stone.
Yeah.
Each table costs X dollars.
Because then they're basically using all the money that they're getting from the WITC for the ATC.
Correct. Yeah.
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 Yeah, if the Kickstarter doesn't cover all the terrain, like if the Kickstarter literally only exactly covered the hall, that's fine because we just charge exactly the amount needed per team to cover the terrain. So the point is we should be able to math it out, and if what I have just said is correct and I'm not missing a loophole, we should be able to figure out the cost per team soon and put it in stone and put it out there so people can sign up with confidence knowing how much it's going to cost them.
My team isn't signed up because I'm lazy.
That is also a reason a lot of teams possibly aren't signed up.
But I have my team, and we haven't thought of a name either. I'm trying to find a name that's offensive, but yet one that Travis won't veto. So I'm trying to find the line of what I can call the team, but yet
You need to figure out something subtle, like the South Park movie's title,
Yeah.
where it's after the fact he catches on that it was a dick joke.
exactly.
Make it political,
we can't
like
really
we
tell
lean to the
that
left.
now because Travis is listening.
Don't listen to that last part, Travis.
Ignore it.
You can edit it out.
No, it's going out live right now on the stream.
Hit the
and
delay button.
He is the one. Oh, I could just cut the stream.
Yeah, there you go.
That's not going to help because it's already gone out.
No, turn back time.
It'll cut the stream like right at the point where I say I'll cut the stream.
Quick, change the channel.
If I could turn back time.
Recommendations? Are you recommending things now?
No.
You don't have one?
You don't have a recommendation?
I wanted more awkward silence. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, we had our quota for awkward silence. We did a good job with that.
I blame Casey for not being here.
That's true.
She got 3 hours closer to having her paper done.
Yeah, well, why didn't she get it done on Thursday when I wasn't playing Galaxy Trucker? Because of her.
She was working instead.
Fuck it. That's
I
stupid.
fully agree.
She can write her paper at work.
John, what do you recommend?
Playing more board games.
Oh, good.
Yeah. No,
Job!
I know, right?
Hey, I support that.
Yeah.
More like we play a lot of 4-player board games, more 5, 6-player board games because get to meet new people, get to play a game that we've never played before, at least in a group that I've been in.
Host that?
Play more than four-player board games. Four-player board games.
What? Player?
Yeah, that's what I would.
Four-player?
Yeah, more than four-player board games. That's what I would recommend.
So you should have a team of 4 players playing 1 player
Yes.
for a board game.
Yes.
There are games where you can do that.
Well, you could do every game like that, and it would be
Yeah.
the most horrendous thing in the world. That one player has to listen to a committee behind him tell him how to play.
Yeah.
Oh my
Play
God.
4-player War of the Rings sometime.
Is War of the Rings the one that's 2-player?
Yeah, but there's a 4-player variant.
Is that worth 2 on each side? And
Yeah. But what you do on your team, you take turns actually playing it. Like one whole turn. Like I'll play next turn, and you get this turn.
It's not good.
You can play War Machine that way. Just tag in with like no context.
No, oh my God, a hot seat War Machine.
Yeah.
Where everybody has got like there's table sides assigned, there's armies in play, game is going, and then everything's all on the same death clock, and then all of a sudden, like you say, switch, and then everyone
And
has to go
shuffles
to
down
the,
one?
No, everyone has to go to a new table.
Yeah.
They don't know where it is.
That would be a little too crazy. I'm actually thinking with 2-player because you'll just have to like watching what they're doing. You have to figure out what the long-term plan that your partner's going.
No communication.
No communication.
We'll call it schizophrenia.
Like you're sitting and you're watching. Like you're on the sidelines and you're watching. You're like, okay, he's doing that. He must be setting up for the. No. Well, maybe okay. And then he ends his turn, and then you sit there, and then for next turn you just have to go and switch with them come maintenance phase, and they don't get to tell you at all. You just have to figure out what the plan was.
That'd be something good to do for a stream. It basically if we're going to stream that game live, show the game being played, and then bring the people that are watching
Commentate,
do
live
the
commentary,
commentating, and then
yeah.
they have to switch. Yeah.
And then the people who came out could explain on the stream what their thoughts were, and then they can watch as their partner doesn't follow through on their brilliant plans.
Yeah.
They were supposed to push the guy an inch. What the fuck is he doing?
Nice.
That could be doable in the basement.
So we have play bigger board games. The challenge with 5 or 6 player games is some of them, like today, you have to we do the 4-player thing on Thursdays so we can get a couple games.
Oh yeah,
done,
no,
but,
I get that. Just
but it is nice. I mean, it's like Battlestar, some of the games. I'd love to play some 5-6 player StarCraft more often.
more often than twice.
Well, I mean, I play more, but I mean, I could always.
yeah.
I mean, I could play that game. I have multiple games. If I played daily, I'd be okay with.
It sucks trying to fit in a day. I mean, Brian
yeah.
Brian at least makes days on the month or so we can go play all board games.
Pretty much everybody listening to this podcast every once in a while makes the time to have an entire day devoted to playing a steamroller tournament. Mm-hmm. So you can devote a day to playing a 6-hour game. Mm-hmm. You know, you got to pick your hobbies. I mean, it is what it is.
Recommendation, Nate?
No. I liked The Witch. I think
I'm confused.
It's not the witch. God
I'm
damn it.
confused. Raylene liked it because it was
The Vivitch.
slower than the other movie she didn't like. That was slower.
Yeah,
I think she just liked the theme of witches. Because I mean, she didn't like.
She likes gothic more than stupid teenagers. Because she liked Crimson Peak as well, and Crimson Peak also nothing happens.
Dante speak?
Yes, Dante's Crimson Peak.
Because the witch was entertaining, and a very slow, methodical, and then she flew.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's weird because I don't mind long, boring movies if they're interesting in that boredom.
I didn't say bored, but there were still segments throughout the movie of terrifying things happening,
Yeah.
like sprinkled in there. Even It Follows had moments of craziness,
Yes.
and this has moments of craziness, but it's still long and drawn out.
But like Andy and I were talking about the Star Trek movies, and everybody talks about the even-numbered movies and whatever. And the original Star Trek motion picture, Star Trek 1, whatever you want to call it, is like 7 hours long and nothing happens, and it's the most boring damn thing in the world. And I love it because if you know that that's what it is, it can be.
It's like 2001.
Interesting. Yeah, 2001. The other one that I say, Andromeda Strain, the movie version of the Andromeda Strain is fucking dry and boring as hell, and I've watched it a dozen times. I love that movie.
Both 2001 and Andromeda Strain.
Yeah, and like nothing happens in Andromeda Strain. It's so boring. Not until some shoehorned thing where defense lasers shoot him in the face because they're designed to kill monkeys.
Yeah, that was...
That scene's weird and out of nowhere, and it's the closest to an action sequence.
It's out of place.
Yeah, but whatever. The point is, like, sometimes it's interesting to have something more dry and thoughtful. But you have to know you're getting into it. It's hilarious, all the negative reviews for the Vivitch, because it's people just like, that wasn't scary, F. It's like, it wasn't supposed to be scary, A.
Well, marketing is always rough for some
Yeah.
of those things, because they try to market to get
They
the horror
marketed it as if
fan.
it was a horror movie.
But
Yeah, that's what I
it
thought
still
it was.
kind of is, but it's...
Yeah, I mean, it's more just misery and depression. I mean, what are they supposed to do, like, in the trailer, and like, see the movie where nothing happens and everything's terrible and eventually everyone dies, the
You
end.
see a butt.
You do see a butt. You see a few butts.
You do.
Most of them are very not a thing that you want to see.
Correct.
Witches in 1600 folklore are not like super hot, sexy ladies. They are goblin troll beasts that are. It's like the second version of the naked woman in The Shining, not the first version of the naked woman in The Shining.
Well, it's like the witches over. You're like, I guess the witch trials were a good idea.
Yes, yes. I suddenly support hanging all those women and
Remember-
crushing that one guy.
If you throw them in the water, if they sink, they're not a witch.
Correct.
I recommend watching Chuck on Netflix. I've watched Chuck a lot of times. I'm rewatching Chuck, and I'm always happy when I watch Chuck.
Don't you own all the seasons?
I own
already?
Chuck, but it's not Netflix. So I'm at the gym. I can like put it on. I watch it. I know. I go on elliptical for one episode of Chuck. That's my time. My timer is.
It's an hour-long show?
It's 40. Well, it's 43
44
minutes,
minutes or whatever, yeah.
So it's perfect, and I can go through like 4 episodes a week. So it'll take me like the half a year to get through the whole show.
I did that for The Sopranos.
Nice. I have to be careful on some of that. I'm at the gym. I can't watch some of the HBO shows because suddenly it gets like too much. Like I can't watch Game of Thrones at the gym because suddenly there's just too many like awful things happening on the screen. And if someone walks by and they just see like boobies and dicks and blood and guts, they'll be like, "What's happening?" I'm like,
That's what they get.
"That's what they get." Yeah.
Depending on the workout, there's going to be boobies and dicks and blood and guts at the gym anyway. Like, if you're working out at the gym and there's not dicks and blood and guts, you're not working out hard enough.
Yeah, don't watch Chuck. I mean, it's great. It's just a fun show.
Boobies.
That's mine.
Did you get around to recommending something?
I said no.
silences.
I said no at first. No, the show I'm going to recommend is all because it's a shell of a show that it previously was. Nathan already knows what I'm talking about. You should watch Join or Die on the History Channel, which is Craig Ferguson. It's a panel show where they basically talk about something that's bad or some kind of topic that they talk about that they have
Have
examples
they all
of.
been the worst so far? Is that gonna be it hasn't some of
No.
them? Okay.
There's then they have like examples of their topic they are, and they basically vote on like if it's the best or the worst or something like that.
They
And-
pick the one that most exemplifies whatever the topic at hand is.
Correct. But it has the closest feel to Craig Ferguson that I've seen since his show went off the air.
All it's missing is Jeff.
It is all it's missing is Jeff.
And Secretariat.
Well, again, all that stuff added into that show would be golden because his guests are usually just like one comedian, somebody who's an expert on whatever subject that they're on, and then somebody else. And the first 2 episodes I've seen so far have been pretty solid. I have not watched the third one yet, but yeah, Craig Ferguson's Join or Die.
Craig Ferguson, anything.
Yeah.
His autobiography is really interesting. I mean, his talk show obviously was
He
great.
needs to be a Dr. fucking Who. He fucking is friends with everyone over there.
Yeah.
And he's fucking friends with the current doctor, for God's sake.
Yeah, it's bullshit that he hasn't even like guested as
Yeah.
anything. Like him being the doctor would be awesome, but that's getting greedy. Like how has he not even had a single episode role?
Yeah, it's really weird.
Just a fucking cameo, like
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
lines. Like you don't. Ugh, so dumb.
They should just have Jeff in the background. Like
Jeff could be the villain of the week.
Jeff could be in the background, like doing something to a Dalek.
Oh, yeah.
Was it sex robot that he had to stop saying? There was something they took away from Jeff when he was still button operated. I remember there was one they did for like half an episode, and then they're like, we can't do that one anymore.
It was probably just one of his quotes because they kept.
Yeah,
on,
that's what I mean.
I probably was sex robot because I don't remember him saying sex robot that much anymore.
Yeah.
but yeah, it was early before Jeff was mic'd. But yeah, that's it.
Boom. Well, everyone needs to celebrate Leap Year Day tomorrow.
Hopefully this was. Oh yeah, the Oscars are happening now.
Yeah.
Did Fury Road win?
No, I don't know.
It's not for a while.
Oh,
Face-
it's happening.
I
Facebook-
hope all the black people won their Oscars that were not nominated, because were nominated. It's funny.
Zappity.
I get to go watch The Walking Dead if I make it home in the next 8 minutes.